Karim is not only a striker, is not only a top scorer, he's a fantastic football player. He plays football really, really well.
Karim Benzema is one of the most highly rated current players. For a long period of time, the Frenchman has done nothing but menial, but incredibly important work on the pitch without receiving the attention he deserves. It's largely thanks to Karim, the legendary Portuguese Cristiano Ronaldo reached unbelievable heights in his statistics. Many thought that Benzema was playing the role of a great supporter, but it turned out to be completely different. After Ronaldo's departure from Real Madrid, the club had to rebuild the entire system, and after a while, Benzema became the key player for Real, and now scores a lot. With that in mind, we'd like to tell you more about the footballer. So, the story of Karim Benzema. Don't forget to subscribe, like and leave a 4-word comment. Let's go! Karim Mostafa Benzema. That's what his full name sounds like. He was born on December 19, 1987 in Lyon, in a family of Algerian immigrants. Karim's parents raised 9 children, and they had to live in a poor suburb called Bron. But despite the bleakness of the place, Benzema found something to his liking, and at the age of 8 he joined a team, Bron Terrion. From an early age, Benzema stood out from the rest of the boys, and as a result quickly got invited to a bigger club. To be more specific, it happened after the match against the Lyon Youth Academy. The little Frenchman attracted the attention of the coaching staff, and soon found himself in the Lyon squad. Benzema progressed year by year, and at the age of 17 he became one of the best players in Lyon's reserve lineup. During the season, the Frenchman scored 36 goals, and as a result of his success was promoted to the first team, for which he made his debut on January 15, 2005, in the French League match against Metz. In the game, Benzema distinguished himself with an assist for Brian Bergignaud. But despite the Frenchman's excellent form, the coaches didn't like to give him many chances, so he only played 6 games that season. The following season, Karim had more playing time, and he managed to score 1 goal in 13 games. The goal was his first in the French League. In 2006-2007 season, the Frenchman was the main forward in Lyon and scored 5 goals in 21 games. The following season, however, was a tremendous one for Karim, as he scored 20 goals, becoming the top scorer in the French League. After this resounding success, the media was quick to point out that some of Europe's top clubs, such as Chelsea, Juventus and Real Madrid, were extremely interested in Benzema. But at that time, Karim was unwilling to leave the club, dreaming of winning the Champions League with Lyon. However, the Frenchman spent another season with Lyon with 17 goals in 36 games and left for Real Madrid on July 1, 2009 for a price of €35 million, signing a 6-year deal with the club. Real Madrid had a crazy transfer window at the time, signing Cristiano Ronaldo, Kaká and Raul in addition to the Frenchman. All of these guys would go on to play a huge role in winning a large number of trophies. Benzema's debut for Real came in a match against Deportivo, with Real Madrid won 3-2, but Benzema didn't score and he was substituted on the 73rd minute. However, the first goal for the new club was not long in coming. In the third La Liga round against Jerez, Benzema scored his first goal for the club. During his first season at the Royal Club, Benzema was not regularly included in the starting lineup, but that did not prevent him from scoring 9 goals in 33 games. In the first half of the 10-11 season, Benzema wasn't a starting lineup player either, but Gonzalo Higuain's injury, Madrid leading scorer, changed the situation. Benzema was given a chance to establish himself as a key player and played in the starting lineup. On the 8th of December 2010, the Frenchman scored his first hat-trick in the Champions League against Auxerre. The first of these goals was the club's 300th in the Champions League. Benzema spent the rest of the season very well and earned the trust of then Real Madrid coach Jose Mourinho. In total, Benzema played 48 games that season and scored 26 goals. The Frenchman started the next season in spectacular fashion. He scored 8 goals in 7 pre-season matches. With the start of all the major tournaments, Benzema also distinguished himself by scoring goals. That season, the trio of Cristiano Ronaldo, Gonzalo Higuain and our protagonist Karim Benzema scored 118 goals, which was the ultimate La Liga record. The 13-14 season was another successful one for Karim. Benzema scored 17 goals in 35 games in La Liga. Also during this season, the attacking ligament known as the BBC Benzema, Bale, Cristiano began to take shape. On the 6th of August 2014, Madrid announced the signing of a new contract with the Frenchman for a period of 5 years. And it is a joint decision that neither the club nor the player himself regretted. Since the start of that season, he resumed delighting the fans with his excellent play and won the French Player of the Year award for the third time at the end of 2014. Since the 15-16 season, Real have won 3 successive Champions League titles, and Benzema has played an important part in that. The only thing I'm interested in is Karim's work, what he has done, and he's done it very well. I would have liked him to score because he had opportunities, but we need patience, and we have to remember that he did well for the team. Other players scored and we won. The rest is not interesting. This is probably the last interview of its kind, as something incredible has happened to Karim's career since then. The Frenchman's career really took off after the departure of Cristiano Ronaldo, the key player in that team. It came as a shock to many that the Portuguese decided to leave the club, but the management were left with no option but to seek new solutions. Many were convinced that the team's success depended heavily on Cristiano Ronaldo, and therefore a worthy replacement was needed. Eden Hazard was that replacement. They had high hopes for the Belgian, and he was given the extremely important number 7. But unfortunately, Hazard failed to live up to the expectations of the fans and the club, and simply failed the entire career. But Benzema was not only lived up to the expectations of the club's management, but he's also revealed himself to be a true phenomenon in the footballing world. For many years, he played for the club's biggest star, Ronaldo. And at 30, when Ronaldo left the club, Benzema was able to rebuild himself and become the vital figure in Real Madrid's system. It's just something unbelievable. There are hardly any examples like that in modern football.
We are lucky to have Karim. I think everyone at Real Madrid thinks that we are lucky to have Karim. We have to say football is lucky to see Karim play.
On the 7th of November 2018, Karim Benzema scored in the Champions League group stage match against Victoria. The goal was the Frenchman's 200th for Real Madrid. Only 6 players other than him have managed to reach that point. This year, we want to achieve something big in both La Liga and the Champions League. Despite the forwards' excellent play, the team still needed to rebuild, and Real Madrid's 3-year Champions League winning streak was interrupted. Even so, the rebuilding process did not prevent the club from taking the La Liga gold in season 2019-2020, in which Benzema played a key role. And Benzema is well aware of his importance, not in terms of ego, but rather that he cannot let the team down. It is telling that Karim broke his pinky finger at the end of 2019, and in order to avoid being out of action for too long when the team needed him most, he decided to postpone the surgery and played through the pain with a bandage on his hand, which he still plays with to this day. Benzema is a true leader of his team and an incredibly dedicated player for his club. The following season will not be a particularly successful one for him, but will be a boost for the 21-22 season. It's safe to say that is Real Madrid's best season since the departure of Cristiano Ronaldo, and arguably the best season of Karim Benzema's entire career.
In an enormous run of form, and he scored vitally important goals.
In that season, Real Madrid not only won La Liga, but also the Champions League trophy, and the Frenchman was top scorer in each of those tournaments.
Yeah, Karim this year he is really on fire. Yeah. But since I came here, I see that he is a different player, the different talent. Maybe he even better than the last time. That much spotlight he didn't have because of Cristiano. Cristiano was doing unbelievable and was difficult to reach these heights. But Karim this season is on that level, and I'm very happy for.
And also, we should definitely mention what Benzema did in the round of 16 in that Champions League. In the second game, Real were down 0-2 on aggregate after a goal. 29 minutes from the end, when many people had already buried Real, Benzema started to do wonders and scored a hat-trick in 17 minutes. PSG couldn't find a way to get back into the game and left the tournament, letting Real Madrid through. The fans' emotions were beyond words. Benzema was a football god that day. The hat-trick against PSG is the best day I'll remember for the rest of my life. We won, and it was a great night at Santiago Bernabeu. Due to all this, Karim won the most prestigious individual award, the Ballon d'Or, at the end of 2022. I think it's incredible. I have this trophy, a childhood dream, the best thing that ever happened to me. A few months later, Karim managed to create a real miracle in the El Clasico at Camp Nou, Barcelona's stadium. He managed to score a hat-trick, the first for Real Madrid in 28 years, and the second hat-trick in El Clasico by a Real Madrid player at Camp Nou. Previously, only the legendary Ferenc Puskás had managed to do that back in 1963. Throughout this video, we've only talked about Benzema's club career, and now it's time to talk about his performances for the national team. Karim Benzema is the kind of player who would have been the best player in the history of the French national team. But unfortunately, throughout his career, there were circumstances that prevented him from achieving this. It is truly surprising and sad at the same time, but Benzema, in his prime, did not play a single match for the national team. For 5 years, Didier Deschamps, head coach of the French national team, did not call Karim to the team. And the reason for this is certainly not the football qualities of the Frenchman, which are undoubtedly high, but his action off the field. So in November 2015, all the football media broke the news, which was a real shock to many fans. Karim Benzema became a party to blackmail his teammate. The story is really ridiculous because Benzema absolutely doesn't need any money. However, the Frenchman's childhood friend has played a key role in this situation. As we previously stated, he grew up not in the most prosperous place. Karim has subsequently said that he was only an intermediary in this case. But nevertheless, in 2021, the court sentenced Benzema to 1 year probation and a fine of €75,000. And Benzema also missed his first possible World Cup for an absolutely stupid reason. As a young and promising player, he could already have shown confident performances for the national team. But this was prevented by the fact that 4 players of the French team, including Karim himself, were involved in a scandal with prostitutes, who turned out to be underage. Karim Benzema finally took a full part at Euro 2020 and the Nations League final, and the whole France then realised how much the national team and Karim himself had lost. It's hard to imagine how many goals Benzema could have scored, and what status in the national team he would have had at the end of his career if not for all these problems. Benzema's club career has been very successful, which cannot be said of his national team career. But nevertheless, it's not prevented him from cementing his status as one of the best players of the day. The Frenchman's stability and efficiency deserve respect, and his ability to make decisions and restructure his game in both macro and micro moments is a real example for young forwards. So there you have it, the story of Karim Benzema. Who else would you like to know about? Be sure to write in the comments.